What's going on YouTube? It's me, MarcRobertsonTCG, and today we are going to be starting this channel off of a bang, and that will be showing off my Twilightsworn 60 card deck profile. If you guys like this deck profile, make sure to hit that like button down below. Also, if you're new to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button. And if you're visiting this channel from my basketball channel, please make sure to hit the subscribe button down below in the comments. I know you guys are here. I know you guys are proud. And if you guys like basketball and you like the Kings, go check out my other channel. It'll be in the link down below. I talk all about the Kings all the time. And I will see you guys over there. And if you want to be a part of my 6-man squad, all you got to do is hit that notifications or hit that subscribe button, hit the notifications bell, hit the little check mark that says send all notifications, and then comment down below hashtag 6-man squad down below. I'll see you're there, and I'll match your 6-man squad with a 6-man squad of my own. So let's get right into it. So this is my 60 card deck profile. I do have one proxy in here because my that grass looks greener is coming in the mail, so that's my one proxy for the deck. Make sure you guys comment down below if you guys think I should change anything in here. I have had different support from my locals. Shout out to Andrew and Danny at my locals for helping me build the deck. I really enjoy playing this deck. I've been playing Lightsworns for a long time. Started out with Gravekeepers and they kind of fell out. Now I'm playing Lightsworn, and this deck's pretty solid against a lot of different decks. And so, let's get right into it. So, to start out the deck profile, we are running 2 JD and 1 BLS. JD, always known for being one of the most destructive boss monsters from any deck. It's a board wipe of its own, but it gets to stay on the field when it board wipes. You have multiple in your hand. You can summon them at once. It becomes a 6,000 attack. It becomes 6,000 attack right to the face at once. Can go over Masterpiece if I had Honest. I do not run Honest in this deck though. I'm thinking about running 2, maybe 3 in my side deck to play against any deck that has big attack monsters in it. Also playing the 1 BLS because I have a good amount of dark targets, and this card is really broken when it comes to just being able to get out there and get an instant 3,000. You attack into a monster that you can run over and then you to attack again. So just say my opponent's monster is 1,500 attack, and he attacks into him, gets an additional attack. That's 4,500 attack, 4,500 damage right from one card. That's crazy, you guys. But yeah, so that's my boss monster lineup. Don't normally go into them a lot because with the play that I have, I can get through a lot of offense pretty fast without needing them, but they're still pretty good to have in the deck. It's always good staples to have. And let me guys know if you guys think I should keep them in there. If not, what I should replace them for. But let's move on to the rest of the deck. So we also run 2 light Lumina and 2 dark Lumina. I like the ratio 2 and 2. I normally always ditch off this just to have it already in the graveyard so I can use her effect to bring her back, and then with snow or something, or even using BLS to send off one of my Lightsworns, I can do it that way. It's always a great card. They're both great cards to have in the deck. This with being a $20 card when it first came out, it's really good just to be able to banish one from your graveyard and bring it back. So if I already have like a Fleece sitting there or something else that just helps me bring out Raiden and get an instant mill 2 and then go into Black Rose. Black Rose is really good too with that situation being. Then I run obviously 2 or 3 Raiden, Handle the Lightsworn, very broken card in the deck. Mill 2 for every Lightsworn that it mills on its first effect. It gains 200 until the end of your opponent's turn, which is really good. And then he also at the end phase gets to mill another 2, so it's a mill 4 card if it stays on the field, which is great. So you could pair it up with a Lumina and get a mill 7, which is fantastic. Moving on to the next must 3 of, even though it could become bricky, which I always find a way to unbrick my hand with this deck, which is fantastic. 3 Wolf and 1 Felice. The downside to Felice is that if this card was just getting sent by card effect, this card would be a lot better. But sadly, her effect is that you have to be sent by a monster effect, which really does not help out with her. But she is a good spot removal card. So there's that. And then obviously Wolf, just it's fun to watch play on Dueling Book and activate grass, and then have all 3 of these in the grass zone for milling, and they all just all out on the field at once. So that's always fun to watch. Other ones for Lightsworns, I run 1 Garoth, 1 Lila. Lila really good. Garoth, if I can get Minerva and Garoth, I can get a +5, which is fantastic. Also Raikou and Dark Raikou and Dark Lila, just fantastic cards all around. I love playing these. The one downside I would say is probably gonna take one of either of these out. Probably this one first for another Ghost Ogre. I only run 1 Ghost Ogre in here because I only have 1 right now, but I definitely want to play 3 Ghost Ogre in here. But yeah, probably take her out. I do like the fact that he banishes without target, which is fantastic. And then all Dark Lightsworns have an effect where if another Lightsworn mills a card, or another Lightsworn's effect, it's not even a mill effect. So you can even if Minerva's just activating her effect, you can use a Twilightsworn's effect to mill more cards, which is fantastic. Like I said, these guys are really good names too. Alright, so moving on from the monsters, or moving on from the Twilight engine, or the Twilightsworn engine with BLS, we are playing the Predaplant Brilliant engine, playing 3 Lone Fire Blossom, just great to mill these 3 and then go into Orthoscorp. And then you have 3 more removable pieces for Snow in the graveyard, which is always fantastic. You like to deck thin in this deck, so there you go. Moving on, Orthoscorp. There's 3 of those. I like 3. Obviously, everybody likes 3 when it comes to this deck. You're basically getting a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it's a 6. It's really good when you're playing 60 cards, and you have 6 opportunities, which is like, it's fantastic. Moving on to what our targets are for Orthoscorp, and that is Cobra. I'm running 2 Cobra, and I got this from what everybody said that I've been talking to. This is really good. Just even if it makes it so that if I accidentally mill off of grass, one of them, I still have another target in deck to bring it off of. So basically, what Orthoscorp does is that as long as I have another card in my hand, I can ditch it, or another monster in my hand, I can ditch the monster to special summon a Predaplant from my deck. So you go into Cobra, and then when Cobra is special summoned with the effect of a Predaplant, I get to add 1 Brilliant Fusion to my hand. So that's fantastic. So that's the Predaplant engine for the Brilliant engine. Moving on to the best card in the deck, and that is Triple Snow. This is probably, I feel like this is probably going to be a limit, even a ban target on the next ban list, just because of how good Snow is. Snow doesn't have to only be from hand, or doesn't have to only be from grave. Well, she does for her special summon effect, but to get all the targets you need to banish, it's fantastic. You can banish from hand and grave. So you banish 7, special, and then you can just automatically interrupt any plays your opponent has, unless they somehow stop the Snow, which is fantastic. Moving on to a good extender, which helps out, is my 3 Goblinberg. This is really good, especially when I have my extra normal with Seraphinite. I get this off of Rhoda, and then summon my Raiden, special summon, change the defense, and then an instant Minerva, which is so good. Moving on to the extra engine that we also have in here. We have the 1 card combo engine into Minerva at the end of your Orthoscorp combo, and this is basically you send one of my Geminites and Trick Clown to the grave to summon Seraphinite over here. Once I have Mrs. Radiant up here, I'll show you guys the combo later, but it's so good. These cards are just so good. This one's special. You take 1,000. Anytime you take damage, 1,000 Blades gets a special summon from the graveyard, and it's once per turn. So that becomes the instant Minerva off of Orthoscorp, which is great because you search out 1,000 Blades with MX Saver Evoker, which I gotta wait on this combo. This combo is Wombo combo. It's way too good. All right, running my 2 Gemini targets. and it's 1 Garnet and 1 Lazuli. Really good because if I get the ability to use this combo first, I always go for Garnet, and then when Lazuli gets pitched with a mill, I get to add Garnet back to the hand, which just gives me an instant 1800 beater back to the hand, so it's pretty good that way. Plus, if I ever mill one of the targets, I have a different target to use, or one of them is in my hand. Like, if one of them is in my hand and I have an Orphis Corp, I'll ditch the one, and then as long as it's, like, if it's Garnet, then I get Garnet back to the hand at the end of the turn. Running 1 and 1, a Twilightsworn and 1 Giant Rex. Twilightsworn is because we have 2 JD, so it just helps me search out JD. And Rex, people have said that Rex could be bricky. I feel like 1 Rex is fine. Like, any more Rexes would be really hard to play with. But, like, Rex, you just banish this from your hand or graveyard with Snow, and it gets an instant summon. That is fantastic. You guys don't even know how good that is. I love that. Alright. Moving on to my hand traps, and this is what I have until I get 2 more Ghost Ogres, and that's 1 Maxi, 1 Ghost Ogre, and 1 DD Crow. The DD Crow and either the Dark Lila or the Dark Reka will be what gets taken out for the 2 other Ghost Ogres, because Ghost Ogre is way better than is good. Like, DD Crow is good for any deck that can bring out that new card that's coming in Circuit Break, where you can just detach to add this to hand, which is great. Obviously Maxi because it's the best hand trap. Ghost Ogre because Ghost Ogre. And then this is a spot remove, which is great. Now going on to spells. We run a good amount of spells, but this is crazy how this whole deck, that's all my monsters. This is spells. That's crazy. But let's go right into the spells. Obviously we're going to run the super broken, almost always in my hand, triple charge of the Light Brigade. And Solar Recharge. I love it when, I've done this before, when I use Solar Recharge, draw into another Lightsworn and another Solar Recharge, do it again, and then this gets drawn into my hand, which is way too good. I always go off of, for these, I always go and get either Lila or Raiden, which is fantastic in this deck. Moving on to the next one, I run obviously 3 Brilliant Fusion. Too good in this deck. This card is super broken, especially if you have 2 in hand and you can't really extend. Like, you can keep, if they like stop your play to the point where you only have Seraphonite on the field. This is active. Ditch the second one. Seraphonite gains her attack back, and if I have Mrs. Radiant on the board, and it makes it much stronger. Mrs. Radiant adds a plus 400 to her, or plus 500 to her. So they turn Seraphonite from a 23 into a 28, which is even better. So yeah, there's triple Brilliant. Then we have triple Desires. This card is also very broken in this deck, especially when I can basically end my turn by activating this and getting to draw 2 cards after I've already set up my good board. Alright, moving on. There's a 2 of, which is Twin Twister with Lila and Dark Lila in this deck. When Dark Lila goes out of this deck, I will need still to have spell removal, and just the Twin Twister work really well. Now moving on to the 1-ofs. This is my proxy. That grass looks greener. This, this card is so good. This is such a good card. When I get this in the mail, I'm going to just put it right in the sleeve and be like, oh yes, oh, it has come to me. We will be champions. Alright, there's that. Now, the other 1-ofs. 1 Instant Fusion. I've been told that I should run 2, or run more, which I don't know. What do you guys think? Should I run more Instant Fusion in this deck? I don't know, with only 1 target. Oh, I guess technically I have 2 targets with Seraphonite as well, but I don't know. I feel like it almost always gets milled, which I just never see it. Soul Charge is always good. Rhoda and Foolish Burial. So this is to get Golenberg. This is to send either like a Snow or a Wolf or someone or something that's going to help me in the grave to the grave. And yeah, sometimes I'd use it to get Trick Clown to the grave because Trick Clown is kind of broken in the grave. It's a really good card. So yeah, so that's my 60 card deck right there. And then we're going to go into the extra deck. My 3 links that I am running is Mrs. Radiant. This helps a lot with the combo. 1 Proxy Dragon helps me to set up a better board. And I'll go turn 2, get a monster out, use the remaining effect of my 1 Minerva, send it out with that 1 monster to get out Proxy, and then Proxy and Decode help out a lot on the field. And then also my Decode Talker. Decode Talker at 1 is super broken in this deck. I don't know how the extra deck will look when the Link Vrains link card for Twilights come out, Twilights come out, which will be very interesting. The Dominion of the Lightsworn is what the card is called. So I don't know if we're only gonna get 1 or if they're gonna like print multiple links for each deck. I feel like it's gonna be 1, and then they're just gonna figure out from there if they're gonna have extra room or not. But I don't know if we're actually gonna get the same packing as they do, or if it's gonna be. I've heard that some people think it's gonna be a premium gold, but I don't know for sure yet. And then moving on to our synchros, 1 Michael, because Michael is super good, mills 3, and then if it gets destroyed by battle or card effect, or if it's destroyed by any way and it goes to the graveyard, I get to send every Lightsworn except for himself back to the deck as I want, and then I gain 300 for each, which is pretty good. Then we have 1 Black Rose. This is just a field wipe. It's really good against decks like Magicians or against Dracos. It's really good against Dracos, which is cool. 1 Omega. Omega is Omega, and everybody should run Omega. That can summon a level 8. Then we move on to our XYZs. And our XYZs consist of MX Saber, Invoker. And the only reason why I ever summon him is so that I can get out 1,000 Blades and then go into Mrs. Radiant, which is, I never actually use him to like attack or anything. 1 Leviair, because Leviair is super broken in this deck, and because when you banish anything with Lila, you can, or not with Lila, well, I guess with Lila you do have to banish stuff, but with the Dark Lila. But if you banish anything with Snow, you can bring it back instantly with this, which is great. And then I have 2 Minervas in here. So when it comes down to this, I don't know if this will be, the second one will be what I take out for when I get a Tapir, the new rank 4 that comes out in Circuit Break that just stops your opponent because it turns everything into defense while it's attacking, which is pretty good. So there's that. So I don't know for sure yet. What do you guys think? Should I take out one of these guys or take out one of the other ones that I have? So let's see. Then I run a Bujinte Tsukiyomi. And this is really good when my hand is dead and I can get out 2 lights really quickly. 1 Castel, the Sky Blaster Musketeer. He is really good for just stopping anybody that's got a big monster on the field and I just want to bounce it. Then we have Abyss Dweller for any deck that uses graveyard effects. It is really broken. I really like that card. Then 1 Seraphinite for obviously the Brilliant Fusion plays, and 1 Carbonala Warrior for my instant fusion target. And this is really good because you can go into either Mrs. Radiant or it's a level 4, so it just helps extend your level 4 rank plays. So yeah, that's my deck. Let me know what you guys think about this deck. Should I take out cards from the extra deck that I don't need? Should I add cards that might help out? I saw somebody playing electric magnetic turtle, and I was like, why are you playing this? It doesn't make any sense to me. And then it kind of started making sense while we were playing because he was able to banish and just stop me from attacking. So there's that. And yeah, just let me know what I should upgrade in the deck, what I should fix up in the deck, and that's all I have for you guys today. And thank you guys for watching, and I'll catch you guys later.